Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the Intentional Sounding Football Podcast. My name is
Yo,
Josh, and my Instagram is Broncos_SCN.
I'm Nick, and my Instagram is Finstrike. Yo,
What up, cuz? My name Jake. My Instagram is Seahawks Storm.
Okay, so today we'll be doing our Week 2 NFL predictions. I'm gonna be looking down because I have on my phone here. So, all right, so let's just
he's not prepared.
Okay.
We prepared, but he didn't. It took 30 minutes to set it up.
First, okay, well that was we had some difficulties. So, the first game is the New York Giants will be visiting the Washington football team, and I have Washington taking this win with a final score of 17-13. The Giants player of the game will be Leonard Williams. He'll get a few sacks against Washington's crummy offensive line. And Washington's player of the game will be Daron Payne, who will get a handful of sacks and tackles for losses with the Giants' horrible offensive line. And Daniel Jones just sucks. So, yeah, Washington will win 17-13.
Yeah, I could totally see that because Washington is looking like a pretty strong team. But I'm gonna take the Giants on this one. Just seems like I think they're probably gonna split, but Giants sometimes get a lucky upset. And last year they beat them twice, I think. But it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a very scrappy game, not very good. Like 20-14 with Giants taking the dub. I genuinely see like Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones only plays good against the Washington football team, and they have Fitzmagic starting, and I feel like Fitzmagic's going to throw a few picks to the Giants secondary, and so I think that the Giants player of the game is going to be like Bradbury because again Fitzmagic, I believe that he's kind of tunnel vision, so he might look at one receiver and throw the pick, and that'll happen. So I think it'll be Bradbury who makes those picks. And then I'm going to have Chase Young be the player of the game for the Washington football team, mainly because of how bad their offensive line is and because how he makes himself included in like every play.
So, for my prediction, I had the Washington football team winning 17-10. I feel like Washington's a very good team. They're not a contender, but they're a playoff contender. I think that they will win the NFC East this year. Now they don't have quite the targets. They have really good targets. Don't get me wrong. They have Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. I mean, they have Cameron, or no, he plays safety. Why was I thinking of him? But they have Antonio Gibson. But I mean, Daniel Jones has more targets. He has Evan Ingram, what am I saying? Saquon Barkley. He has newly acquired Kenny Golladay, rookie Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard. I mean, he has all these players, but I don't trust Daniel Jones. I think in this game, I'm going to take the veteran quarterback, and I'm going to take the safe bet and go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm also going to take the team that has the better defense, which is the Washington football team. That D-line is the best in football. You have Daron Payne, you have Chase Young, you got Sweat, you got all those guys.
This man is thinking basketball with the Daron Payne. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I have Washington winning 10-17. Player of the game for Washington, Chase Young. Player of the game for the Giants, Leonard Williams.
Player of the game for Washington, Cameron Curl at wide receiver.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I was I don't know who the guy I was thinking of is. He has dreads.
They could throw him in there as wide receiver.
I mean, really. Maybe. Okay. Next game. Gets hurt. You never know. Next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Chicago Bears. At this point, I'm assuming Andy Dalton is still starting, and Joe Burrow is 100% from his injury, and Cincinnati will take this win 24-23. Cincinnati's player of the game is Jamar Chase, who will torch whichever Bears cornerback's guarding them, because they have Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I don't know much about the Bears. So, and Jalen Johnson won't be guarding Jamar Chase unless he has like a huge week one. So he'll do good. I mean, the Bears, I don't think they have a good enough secondary to cover all the Bengals receivers, even though the Bengals line sucks. I think Joe Burrow can get it off in time. Bears player of the game is Khalil Mack because of the offensive line. That's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, I have the Bengals taking the upset.
I mean, I don't want to say I see that because I don't really. I mean, The Bengals, I just feel like they're going to take a while to get developed and stuff. I mean, they're a very young team, and it's going to take a while for them to get things on track and for them to be a playoff contender. I mean, in that tough division and stuff, they're gonna have some struggles this next season. But I don't think that Joe Burrow nor Joe Mixon will be very ready for this game. So I see Chicago taking the dub, 24-20, because I feel like Chicago's probably going to start. What's his name? The Fields, the quarterback.
By week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Dalton.
I have him starting for. I think it might be week 3 or 4.
It'll be week 4 when they play the Lions.
Lions.
Or week 5 when they play the Raiders. It'll be one of those two.
Yeah.
Wait,
I say week 4.
What?
Wait, is that official? Did they say?
No, but
no, that's just what we think.
They play the Rams week 1, right? And they're not going to start. They're not starting week 1. Then they play the Bengals, which are bad, but then they play the Browns week 3. So I think you start.
They don't want to start them and then bench them the next game.
So I think then you play the Lions and the Raiders, and I think the Bucs are either 6, 7, or 8, week 6, 7, or 8. But I mean, you got to start them at some point. The Bears aren't top contenders this year.
What's Chicago's schedule? But I just thought that since Andy Dalton looked like trash against the Rams defense, and I feel like they're just gonna throw him in because the Chicago is gonna need those early wins.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So for this game, I've got Chicago winning 17-14. Again, like Nick was saying, Joe Burrow's coming fresh off of a torn ACL. He's probably not going to be 100% healthy this game. He has 0 O-line, but he has all the targets in the world. I really think the key factor in this game is Chicago's D-line. I mean, they have a pretty good D, but they've got on the line, they got Khalil Mack, they got Eddie Goldman, they've got Akeem Hicks. Like, their O-line is old, but I think it's very serviceable, especially if you have Khalil Mack, you have a great D-line. But I don't think I'm ready to trust Joe Burrow right after he had an ACL injury. So I'm going to take them 17-14, player of the game, Cincinnati. I'm going to take Joe Burrow because that defense, that secondary isn't great. And then I'm going to take Khalil Mack, who I think is going to have a monster of a game.
Okay, so the third game is the Houston Texans are visiting the Cleveland Browns. I don't really want to waste time talking that much about this one. 34-10.
This isn't even a question.
I mean, 34-10 Cleveland, in my opinion. Tyrod Taylor is Houston's player of the game because I have to give it to someone, and Myles Garrett is the Browns' player of the game. That's all I have to say on that.
Okay. Yeah, this game's gonna be good, guys. This game's gonna hype us up, you know?
Closest game of the week. Let's go.
I know, right? I was joking though. I mean, I think this game's gonna be horrible. I mean, the Browns are gonna win 42-10. I have them. Browns just are so balanced. I mean, like, and then you look at the Texans are like no balance. I mean, they got nothing. But they literally, I mean, I'm trying to think of a player of the game for the Texans, but I forgot they got to go Shaq. So
Shaq Lawson.
Shaq Lawson, yeah. But he'll be good, I guess. But because he was decent on the Dolphins, and there's really no other players, as Josh was saying. And then for Cleveland, I'm going to say OBJ because he's not overrated in my opinion. I think he's still very, very talented, very athletic, and still has a very good straight set of hands. So I think that he's going to be the player of the game just because he's going to torch the Texans defense and he's going to have himself a game.
Okay, Jake.
I mean, this isn't even a question. I have Cleveland winning, like 35-0.
I want to disagree about that.
Isn't even a question. Okay, this is what I was struggling with. My player of the games. The only player on the offensive line that the Texans have is Laremy Tunsil. I think that's their only good player. But I don't know if he can handle. I said their own.
He's gonna get destroyed. There's no offensive line. Except for your boy.
I don't know why I signed with Houston. I got the jersey right there. But...
I have player of the game for Texans. Their fullback. Whoever their fullback is, make some impact blocks for Phillip Lindsay. Come in clutch, get in the holes. Player of the game, right there, baby. Whoever their
Yeah.
fullback is. I think it's let me see. I think
It
it's
doesn't matter. Jake, it doesn't matter. We don't have.
Vontae Leach, player of the game for the Browns, Nick Chubb.
Respectable.
Okay. Well, it'll be a good day for people who own Browns fantasy players.
Hey, if Vontae Leach scores a touchdown this game, I will buy a jersey of him.
It'll be a good day for Nick Chubb fantasy owners. That's all we can say.
I had
Next
him
game.
last year.
I hope I got Adam in one of my leagues last year. So we
I
got
had King Henry.
So did I. So next up we have the Rams visiting the Colts. And I hate to start the Colts out 0-2, but it's a rough 2 games to start out the season. 32-28, Rams take the win. Robert Woods is the Rams player of the game. Just think he'll have a big game. And Quentin Nelson is the Colts player of the game, so he'll do a good job blocking against the Rams' monster defensive line.
So this game is gonna be a good game. I see it as a very, very good game, but I also think that LA will come out with the win here. I mean, the Rams, also like the Browns, are a very completed team in general. And I think Indianapolis is a little bit overrated. They don't have a good offense, but I mean, they have like offensive line and running backs, but Carson Wentz is still a question. They got like no good receivers. I mean, no good receiver ones, I should say. I don't want to insult Michael Pittman or anything. But I know, but you never know if he's going to be a wide receiver one yet. We got to see if he makes that step. Same with Carson Wentz. You got to see if he steps back up to 2017 Carson Wentz. It's a very iffy offense. But that defense is stout. That defense could be top 5. So that's why I see what carries them. But they're still going to lose here because the Rams have a very good offense now with Matthew Stafford, you know? So I see the Rams coming out with this one 26-24. Yeah, mainly because of balance and just the roster itself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna also take the Rams this game. I have them winning 21-20. So a very close game. Maybe it comes down to a missed extra point by the GOAT Rodrigo Blankenship. I hope not. But so the Rams are very interesting this year. They're a very complete team. Although they did get rid of their offensive coordinator, so they're gonna have an unfamiliar scheme. So I feel like Indy's gonna have a hard time scheming against that. They have a serviceable O-line. Tight end Gerald Everett. I mean, they have good targets. They have Cooper Kupp. They have Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell. And then you got Cam Akers at running back. Matt Stafford. So they're a good team, but I don't know how Stafford will perform. Like, he was always fine in the Lions, but I don't think he's going to come in top 10. Like, people are saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if I can trust Matt Stafford going from 3-13 every year to going from like 12-5. I don't think I can say that. Although I do think that they have a better offense than the Colts. Carson Wentz. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be a great running back. But again, T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman, not as many targets there for Carson Wentz to throw to. And again, you have the defensive player of the year, Carson Wentz, on the Colts. So, I mean, it's always up for grabs in these types of games. But I think I'm going to take this. To be honest, this is a defensive game. This is the best defense versus top 2, top 3 defense. So I got player of the game for the Rams, Jalen Ramsey. Player of the game for the Colts, Quentin Nelson. Best lineman in football.
I don't even know why I didn't put Jalen Ramsey. Oh, because I put him last week, so I didn't want to double him. The whole Rams thing with the Matthew Stafford going from 3-13 to 12-5, that's not really his fault. He went 3-13. He kind of made the most of what he had. He had a very crappy team around him every year. So, I think he'll do just fine. Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford can win a Super Bowl. He has such a good team around him. Jared Goff made the Super Bowl, that team. So I think Stafford.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point right there.
I mean, unless they got like some bad luck, like a bad matchup. But honestly, it'll be them, Cleveland, Kansas City, or Tampa Bay. It's one of those 4 win the Super Bowl. Or Buffalo, but I don't think Buffalo has it. Speaking of Buffalo, next game is the Bills. The Dolphins.
Okay, you know what happened the last time I watched a game like this? Buffalo, Miami. You know what I did? That's what I did the last time I watched that game. I hate the Bills. Now you can talk all you want. They're gonna lose. I know.
Pepperoni nipples.
Nick. All right. Well, I
That's
mean,
staying in the video.
Yeah, I'm
it is.
Italian.
I'm Italian.
I'm Italian, bro. I got pepperoni right here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the Bills Dolphins. I don't have the Dolphins starting out very good. I'll just say that if there's any Dolphins fans watching. But
I'm watching.
Bills take it 27-14. I think Tre'Davious White is the Bills player of the game because he gets to match up against Tua and incoming Mad Nick. And then Dolphins player is Christian Wilkins because I don't see
Tua
them
didn't have he didn't throw that many picks unless it was like garbage time in the Bills game. He didn't throw that many picks.
Well, against the Bills, when you're the Dolphins, it's always garbage time. So
no, not the first game though.
second game with Tua.
The second game, yeah.
Nick, what are your thoughts on it? Well, actually, Nick, Jake, what are your thoughts? Nicholas, this will be.
All right,
I do know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry, Nick. Miami is not gonna be that great this season. They're starting 1-4 this year in their first 5 games.
Fine.
I have one. No, I think they can beat the Patriots. I have Bills winning 28-14. I mean, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, they're so good. They started off so. The only thing I can say is if Josh Allen doesn't start off good, I don't think the team will click as well as it did last year. I do think Josh Allen has to start off where he ended last year, which was top 3 MVP candidate. For Miami, their defense is good. It's not as good as it was last year. They lost some players, I think. But I think where they screwed up, sure, they needed another receiver, but I would have loved it to see if they took like a different defensive player. I really think they would have been better.
They did. They made moves in the offseason for more defensive players. I think that they gained a lot from what they lost.
No, not Rousseau. The other guy, Phillips. I think Rousseau.
They got Phillips. They got Javon Holland. They got signed probably a few guys, I think, for their defense.
I'm saying top 6. I'm saying I wanted them to get Surtain. I wanted them to J.C. Horn. I wanted them to get Penny Sewell.
They don't need corners. I wanted them to get
Justin Coleman. You don't need
exactly. They could have had the best cornerbacks in the NFL.
But that belongs to Denver, dude. It's like Denver.
All right, so I have the Bills winning 28-14. Miami, don't trust Tua yet. Of course, Drew Lock's better, but
that's right. He is.
What? You don't know.
I meant Drew Lock's worse.
Oh, you did. No,
Drew Lock's worse.
Yeah.
Drew Lock's worse.
Bro, I have my Drew Lock shirt right now. I gotta find that for next time.
Yeah. I don't see them stopping Daddy Allen. So Diggs and Waddle player of your games.
Well, I mean, dude, I don't know though what you're arguing with the Dolphins taking a defensive player. I thought you were gonna say they should have taken Sewell, which they definitely.
I said offense. I mean, their defense. They
should have taken Sewell.
They have their defense. They didn't lose that many pieces.
Yeah, no. Their receivers were already good though. They should have taken Sewell, but I'm surprised to think as much talk as it should have.
They got Eichenberg later on, and we'll see how they play and stuff. But I have this game being I have this in an 8-point game mainly because it's the same situation as last year. I kind of like to play with that. So I have it 35-27. It'll be a little bit of a closer game, mainly because I feel I don't know. I mean, it's in Miami again, and same as last year in Miami week 2. The Dolphins, I think they got a lot of their key players and stuff. I think they fixed a bunch of holes they had from last season, and I think that Tua, I mean, he did play iffy some parts last year. He also shined some parts last year. We don't know yet. He's too young. That's why I'm saying they're not ready yet. For these first couple games into the season. That's why I agree they won't start as well. But I think that he could start clicking later on. So I have this 35-27 with Bills player being Tre'Davious White and Dolphins player being, I think I'd have it being, what's his name? I forgot. I'll probably have it being someone wait, I can't think of the name. Oh, Jerome Baker, that guy. I don't know why I forgot, but Jerome Baker probably for the Dolphins.
Next game, while we're on the AFC East topic, Patriots at Jets. This will be a closer game than I think most people assume it will be. 18-10 Patriots. Damian Harris is their player of the game. No, Jake? You think the Jets will win? I was very tempted on that, but I don't think Zach Wilson is ready to play Bill Belichick in his second week. I do think they'll beat him the second time they play him.
Yeah, Belichick loves.
I don't even know if they'll beat him the
different
second time.
QBs.
'Cause the second time's in Foxborough. If this would be in Foxborough, then it would make it easier second time. But this is their home game against New England. I do think they'll split. I just don't know which one because they do come off of playing the Panthers, who I think will kill them kind of. So I think the Panthers will get 10, 11 wins next year. That's a topic for another day. So yeah, Patriots won 18-10. Damian Harris, their player of the game. Although I do think the Jets have a good defensive line. And then Marcus May is the Jets player of the game because at this point, Cam Newton's still starting. Although I do think he'll redeem himself, people. But that's my prediction. 8-point game.
Yeah, this game, I don't know, it's not gonna be fun. I mean, like last year, I watched both of the Patriots Jets games, I believe. I watched at least one of them. They were not fun to watch. I mean, they're very.
There's an overtime one. It was fun.
I know, but they both suck. Well, I mean, they both sucked last year. We'll see what happens next year. But I don't see this being a good game at all. I think it's gonna be 20-10 with the Patriots winning. I mean, the Jets, they're young. I mean, they got a few pieces. They're gonna develop soon, but they're just not ready yet. Bill Belichick, again, you see what he did to Justin Herbert last year? He's gonna do that to Zach Wilson this year. That's why I see this game like they're gonna beat them. But the Patriots, I feel like they got a lot of new pieces, so they won't be completely on track because they got like all these rookies and signed a bunch of people. But they're still gonna beat the Jets. So their player of the game is probably gonna be like their running back, the Patriots. What was his name? I forgot. But like
The running back, Damian Harris.
Damian Harris, yeah, because the
The
Jets,
dope.
I feel like he's probably gonna run through them. And he's underrated as well, in my opinion. As a Dolphins fan, I'd say that. And then I'd probably say Quinnen Williams for the Jets.
Okay, I'm taking the Jets on this one. I'm all in on the Jets. Jets.
You think Zach
So,
Wilson?
I think Zach Wilson will be better than Trevor Lawrence this year. I really am
This
high
year?
on Zach. This year
That's
alone,
crazy.
yeah, just this
He
year. I
has the
think
worst
Zach Wilson will be
situation.
this year.
Although his coaches are good.
But I like his situation. He's the underdog.
It'll be Trey Lance.
You gotta love the underdog.
Long term.
You got a lot. Yeah, I'm taking Jets 10-14 or 14-10. Patriots. You don't know the quarterback situation yet. It could be Mac Jones. It could be Cam Newton. I think it will be Cam Newton probably. And as I remember, did the Jets have an okay run defense? Like
Yeah.
they're not.
Quinnen Williams,
horrific.
Carl Austin.
And Cam Newton can't throw for his life. Like last year, he threw what?
They have a good line though.
3 passing touchdowns. Sure, they have a really good line. The one thing that I do like in this situation for the Patriots is their tight ends. I don't know who in the world is going to be able to cover Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. I don't know where they're going to get that from. But I do think that Zach Wilson's going to get some of his BYU clutch blood in his veins. He's gonna throw a game. I think he's gonna throw 2 touchdown passes to Corey Davis. And I got player of the game, Jonnu Smith for the Patriots, and player of the game is Zach Wilson.
Okay. Well, I don't know. So do you think Zach Wilson will be the best quarterback from that class long term?
No,
Who?
Trevor Lawrence.
Just this year, Zach Wilson will be better.
I think Zach Wilson will win Rookie of the Year.
think
I feel like
Trey Lance. I don't know. Why.
Really?
It's just something that tells me.
That's hot. That's hot. But I
don't think Trey Lance is gonna start.
No, I'm saying long term because Trey Lance in the best situation. He's in.
Yeah.
Trey
yeah.
Lance
He's a
played
Seahawks.
one game. No, it's not even because I'm a Seahawks fan. I wanted him to take Trey Lance.
Yeah, I know,
didn't
but I
like
think
Trey
he
Lance.
has a chance to be successful, and
A chance, a small
yeah, but
chance.
he's
But how
but
many
his
NFL
chance
players
to
do
be
you know
successful-
from actually being decent? Like over 90% of the quarterbacks that get drafted don't do anything in the NFL.
his chance.
Anything.
His chance of being decent banks on the situation he's in, and he has Kyle Shanahan as his coach. He's throwing to George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel.
Let's just move on to the next game, which
Mine.
is San Francisco.
You're right. It is San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and lead us into that. San Francisco, Philadelphia, people.
He's gonna take.
I'm hot on San Fran this year, although I'm a Seahawks fan. Hate to say it, man. I hate to see it. To be honest, I'm hot on them. I think they're a good team. Will they make the playoffs?
Over the Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I don't think they will.
they
If,
can.
if
And
they
it's not
make it,
because I'm a Seahawks fan. I think we will either come second, third, or fourth in the division. Our division is too good. Our division is the best in football.
Cardinals suck.
I
I
have
think I'm
San
going
Fran
second.
winning
I think I'm going
24 to 7. I have 24 to 7. Philly sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Philly's horrible.
We know.
They suck.
That's
Only
you.
player they have on their defense is Darius Slay and Fletcher Cox.
They might be worse than Detroit. Brandon Graham.
Brandon Graham sucks. So I'm gonna go and take Brandon Ayuk, player of the game for the San Francisco 49ers. And Fletcher Cox for the what's it called? Eagles.
Fletcher Cox.
Can I turn my camera off for a second?
Yeah. Well, I think that this will be a closer game than people think, even though I hate Philly. It'll be 2014 San Francisco because Jimmy Garoppolo sucks and he'll still be starting at this point.
They made the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo on that roster.
Jimmy Garoppolo he's much worse than
My mic's still on.
He's serviceable, I think.
Yeah, he's bottom 10. Anyway.
He's like 22 or something
Fred
now.
Warner,
I forgot
49ers player of the game. Darius Slay's the Eagles player of the game. And the 49ers will do better than Seattle. And Philadelphia might be the worst team in the NFC. Could be worse than Detroit. We'll find out because they do play head-to-head. It's very close.
They're both gonna suck. I mean, this game's not gonna be that good. I think that San Fran will come second in the division behind the Rams. That's kind of a hot take right now, because I think that roster they have talent spread all along that roster. I mean, because it's all coming back healthy next year, I think. And then Nick Bosa got injured at the beginning of the season last year with a really bad injury, but it was at the beginning of the season. It's been a year. I think that he's gonna be all recovered by week 2 and stuff. And then their whole team is going to be back. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, I feel like because they went to the Super Bowl like 2 years ago with almost that same roster, with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he's serviceable, and I think he's still going to be starting week 2. So I think that this game's not going to be that close, because I also agree that Philadelphia will suck. I mean, they lost a lot of pieces, and Jalen Hurts, I mean, he's still a question mark. But I have it 33-17 with Philadelphia's player being Fletcher Cox again. He's very talented, just getting a little older. That's one problem. But I have San Fran's player being Bosa, because I think he's going to be very good.
So, did you know that Fletcher Cox always played for the Eagles? That's random, but
I didn't know. Fun fact of the day.
I used to think I'm just saying this because Jake's doing something right now, so just kill time. So I used to think he played for the Packers too, but I guess I was thinking of Reggie White. But
we talking about Mr. Cox?
Yeah, I used to think he played for the Packers too, but I guess he's always played for the Eagles. So there's that. Okay, next game. Vegas at Pittsburgh. Hate the Raiders. Always have. Probably always will. But
they have Derek Carr.
You'll like them someday.
But they're better than Pittsburgh. They always start out hot, and they're winning this game 23-21. Henry Ruggs will smoke Joe Hayden just like KJ Hamler did in week 2 last year. And Steelers player of the game will be Najee Harris, because the Raiders' defensive line sucks, just like the rest of their defense. But the Pittsburgh Steelers will fall to 0-2 because they're the Pittsburgh Steelers and they won't do good next year.
Yeah, I agree. Pittsburgh's not gonna start off good this year. I mean, they're gonna leave right where they left off last season. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, they're frauds. I mean, they're not gonna do good. Ben's aging. He's just old. We have the TikTok cheerleaders on that team as well. They're gonna be trash. This game, it's gonna be close. I don't know. Las Vegas. I don't know what happened to them, but I feel like they lost a lot of their core offensive line.
They fall apart every year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as good this year. I feel like they started super hot last year, but this year I don't think they're going to be as hot because they lost on their offensive line. They signed Kenyon Drake out of all people. They're like, I don't know, they're very iffy, like understandable team. So I have it being Las Vegas winning, though, 22-17, mainly because Pittsburgh has literally no offense except for, well, Najee Harris, but we got to see if he's good yet. But like really, other than that, I don't believe in their offense. It's just a defense, but on that defense, they lost a lot of pieces. So the Steelers are falling apart. I'm gonna say it. So I see them losing, but it's gonna be within a score because the Raiders' defense is not good. But I see Vegas's player being like Waller, and then I have the Steelers player being Minka.
Yeah. I also have the Raiders winning this game. If you're wondering what I'm eating, by the way, I'm having some mini s'more bites.
Oh,
bussin'. Huh?
Are they
Can I
good,
have
Jake?
They're pretty good. I had a microwave. I had to stop it at 1 second. You know the vibes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So I have the Raiders winning this game 24-14. Like I said, like everyone else said, the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't end where they started last year. The worst 11-0 football team in NFL history. Like they were so bad. But I think their offense sucks. I also think their defense got worse. So I can't take them. Also because the Raiders always, like Josh said, they always start off pretty hot. So I'm gonna take them 24-14. Player of the game for the Las Vegas Raiders is Darren Waller. Player of the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Najee Harris.
New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans loses this 18-21 because the Panthers will start out hot and they will continue to be hot until they're knocked out of the playoffs because they're making the playoffs this year. And the Saints player of the game is Michael Thomas. The Panthers player of the game is Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, I mean, I like this rivalry a lot. I like both of these teams. Like, I don't know, they just seem very cool teams. You know, they got very cool rosters. So I'm gonna say this game is gonna be like a 10-point game. I mean, it's gonna be over a score, but I do have Carolina winning this. I just see them. They do have a very good offense, and I feel like they did add a lot of pieces, filled a lot of the holes. While the Saints lost a lot of holes. They started a lot of holes, whatever. But it's gonna be it's not going to be that close of a game, but I see Brian Burns being Carolina's player, and I see MT being the Saints player.
I'm going to go against everything you just said, and I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints this game, 30-10.
Really?
Now, I don't think that New Orleans improved, but I also don't think that they like decreased at all. I don't see much of a difference between what Drew Brees finished with and what Jameis Winston has right now. I don't think Drew Brees and 41-year-old or how old he is, Drew Brees, and 28-year-old Jameis Winston are far behind in skill level in this year. But Drew Brees is gone now, so that's that. Taysom Hill will not be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston will be. And I like Jameis Winston. The only thing is, what?
Florida State.
Oh, yeah. I just can't take New Orleans. I can't trust Sam Darnold in a new scheme already. So yeah, I'm taking New Orleans 30-10. Player of the game for the New Orleans is Alvin Kamara, which I think is going to be the offensive player of the year this year. And player of the game for the Panthers is J.C. Horn.
Yeah, I'm just counting to make sure we didn't skip any games. Nope, 7 left. Game of the week: Denver at Jacksonville. All the Denver games are the game of the week.
Oh, I hate to say it, but since I'm a Seahawks fan, but I truly think Tennessee-Seattle is the game of the week.
No, because Tennessee's both the defenses kind of suck. Game of the week is Minnesota at Arizona, or Kansas City at Baltimore, Dallas at the Chargers. Okay, so I'm actually going to be at this game. It'll be my first Broncos game in person. So that's cool. Of course, I want them to win more than most of the other games. But I think Trevor Lawrence in his second game going up against a very good defense, and our head coach, Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive minds in football. I think he's going to struggle a lot against our defense. Even if Drew Lock sucks, if Bridgewater starts, then he won't be the reason we lose a game. So I think he's good enough to play against Jacksonville's defense with the weapons. And I think our defense will do most of the work in this game. So I have us winning the game 20-13 Denver. Jerry Jeudy's Denver's player of the game because, just because he is.
Because, yeah.
because this will be his breakout game, calling it. And Josh Allen is Jacksonville's player of the game, just because. Yeah, I don't know, because he'll get a couple sacks. No really explanation for that. All right.
Okay, this game is gonna suck. This game is not gonna be good.
Not as bad as Buffalo, Miami.
No, this game's gonna be worse.
This game's two-sided. The other one's
I would
one-sided.
rather watch Browns Texans.
Yeah. Also, Bills. The Dolphins almost beat the Bills the first time.
That was with a good quarterback,
That was when Josh Allen sucked.
and that was
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the Dolphins had a good quarterback.
He's okay. Fitzpatrick wasn't. I don't know. He was kind of
Much
around
better than
Tua's
Tua.
range last year. I don't see why everyone's hating on Tua. Okay, he started like.
Because he
8
threw
games
5
last year.
picks in one day against their backup defense.
So did Drew Lock.
Drew Lock
Lock
threw
didn't.
4 picks against the Raiders defense, which is like one of the worst.
I know, but
The
everyone
Dolphins-
already hates on
Tua
him.
threw like 3 picks and like against like the Bills defense against like Tre'Davious White and Micah Hyde, 2 very good players, and like another guy. His interceptions I don't see as like a big problem. But anyways, let's get back on schedule. This game is going to be a very low scoring game. I could see an upset, but I'm gonna take Denver here, 13-10, because I feel like Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna still be like developing a little bit. He'll probably take a few weeks to develop completely. And then Denver, again, we never know what the quarterback situation. Similar to the Dolphins, Drew Lock, young player, and then you got like Teddy Bridgewater, who I don't agree with. I don't think he was that good last year. But
One bad year.
I don't know. He wasn't
He was
great.
good in New Orleans. He's good.
Really?
New Orleans and Minnesota, he was good, just injured. So.
I don't know. But yeah, I see this being a low scoring game with Jacksonville's player being ETN probably. And then I have Denver's player being probably like Javonte Williams.
All right, so Denver Jacksonville, like everyone said, is a very boring game. But I have Denver winning 21-10. And the player of the game for the Denver Broncos is Jerry Jeudy. He's probably going to be guarded by CJ Henderson. I don't love CJ Henderson. So I'll take Jeudy. And player of the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I have is Travis Etienne.
All right, next game.
Next, Alvin Kamara.
Who? Travis Etienne?
He has the potential.
Yeah, sure.
Also, I call
okay.
dibs on being
Mark.
first for the Seahawks one.
You got
Okay.
the Mark Ingram, I guess. Kamara had Mark Ingram in front of him, and then now he is whatever his name is, James Robinson. I guess similar situations. Okay, the Vikings at the Cardinals.
They're both drippy.
The Vikings are correct. The Vikings are just good. The Cardinals are just way overrated, and will get between 8 and 10 wins this year. Because Cliff Kingsbury has nothing to do with their roster. Their roster is very good, but
Oh yeah.
they didn't get that much better from last year. I don't care that it's J.J. Watt and A.J. Green. This isn't 2015. It's not that big of a deal at this point. J.J. Watt's still pretty good, but he's 32 at this point, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, they're getting Chandler Jones back, so that'll help. Then A.J. Green, I mean, that's just, I don't even know. Like, he's probably not going to be any good. So, I mean, Arizona is very overrated. If they get a new coach, maybe they'll be better. They still need a few pieces on their roster, though. So I think Minnesota is very good, and without Aaron Rodgers, will win the division next year. So that being said, Minnesota takes this game, even though it's a road game, 28-24. Adam Thielen is their player of the game, and Arizona's player of the game will be Kyler Murray.
Who?
Kyler Murray.
Oh, I thought you said Tyler Curry. Like who?
Tiger Curry. Okay, I got this game. This game is gonna be a fun game. I like both of these teams, but I'm gonna take the Vikings probably because I think that Dalvin Cook is gonna be really good next year. I mean, I think he might be like offensive player of the year or something like that. But I think that the Vikings just have a strong roster. I mean, they got people coming back like Danielle Hunter. They got good players, and they fixed that offensive line. So I see this game being like 34-30. It's going to be a decently high scoring game. But like Arizona, I think it's going to be like a 10-11 win team next year. I still think they could be strong even with Cliff. But I don't know. I just see I see the Vikings coming out on top of this one, which with their player of the game being Danielle Hunter probably, and then with the Arizona's player of the game being probably D-Hop, I'd say. Well, it's an offensive battle. I'm going to say that.
I think you guys are both wrong. As much as I hate the Arizona Cardinals, as much as I think they're very overrated, I don't like the Vikings defense. I don't like the Cardinals secondary. I think that the Vikings have a better secondary. I think the Cardinals actually have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL when you think about it. Although they have Budda Baker, he's one player. I don't think anybody else on the secondary is great. I have the Arizona Cardinals winning 35-20. I don't know. I don't love that defense on Minnesota. DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, like you have all those guys, AJ Green, and Kyler Murray. The Vikings don't have a great running defense. So I think Kyler Murray will put up a few hundred yards rushing, or not a few, 200 yards rushing. I think he's gonna have 200 yards rushing, maybe
200 rushing
yards
yards in
throwing.
one game.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Wow.
it's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot, but I like him. So I have Vikings player of the game, Justin Jefferson, and player of the game for the Cardinals, small Kyler Murray.
Midget man himself.
Is he like the same height as Russell Wilson, like an inch short or something?
I think he's shorter.
Yeah.
No, but Russell Wilson has the girth, though. You know.
Okay.
So
does I mean? Yeah, I get. Okay. Moving on. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. This will also be a quick conversation. 13-31 Tampa Bay, and yeah, because Atlanta sucks and Calvin Ridley's their player of the game, and Mike Evans is the Bucs player of the game because the Falcons defense sucks. And that's that. Bucs win by 18.
This game, I kind of want to see an upset, but I'm not going to because I think that they're going to choke again. They're going to choke against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the third time in the last 2 years. It's going to be a close game. Like, I think it'll start off like 20-0, I'm going to say. And then, you know what Tom Brady's going to do? Tom Brady's going to do this. And then they storm back. He does this. And they get 25 points, like, right off the bat. And then they get a field goal at Atlanta. So it'll probably be like 25-23 or like 26-23 around there. But Atlanta will choke because it's Tom Brady doing this again. So
what's the deal with this so much? I mean, I know it is, but
Bucs player of the game being Tom Brady himself. And then I have Falcons player of the game probably being like Calvin Ridley.
I also agree with Josh. I don't think this game is much as a conversation. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning 38-14. I'm not going to even go into detail. The Bucs won the Super Bowl. The Bucs are probably, if not the best, the second best team in the NFL. Calvin Ridley, player of the game for the Atlanta Falcons. Devin White, player of the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
And I'm just going to say this. I also don't think the game after this is a conversation. This game right now.
Really?
Really?
What game?
4 games left. Dallas will visit the Los Angeles Chargers. I know what Jake has saying. It's not a close game.
No, it's a close game, but I don't see this game winning.
What?
This game is not going to win.
But it's. I don't
That's
see
not
it.
what I meant.
You don't see
Lucky
what?
we could see a tie. Ooh.
You don't see what?
A tie.
Oh. Something.
42-42.
You think it's gonna end in a tie?
What? I mean, that could happen.
Okay. Yeah, hot take because that's my second favorite team. Dallas wins, and yeah, just because Dak Prescott's gonna really light it up this game, and Justin Herbert will do good, but they will have just lost to Washington, and even though Dallas's defense is not nearly as good as Washington's, that's obvious. I don't think Dallas's defense is as bad as people say. They got a solid defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Their defensive coordinator is much better. They added some pieces. Yeah, their secondary still sucks, but they have some good linebackers. And I think it'll be enough to hold the Chargers off because of how good their offense is. But I could definitely see the Chargers winning this 27-24 Dallas. Dak Prescott's their player of the game. Justin Herbert is the Chargers player of the game. Battle of two top 12 QBs.
This game I see being the Browns Ravens second game of this year. This game's gonna be a shootout. I see this game being a very high scoring game with like a score of like 56-53 within a field goal. That high. Both like I don't believe in either defense. Their defenses are like seriously. But Justin Herbert's gonna be and then like down the field like with no one there, and then it's gonna be really high scoring. But I do have the Chargers winning this one. Hot take, upset. But I think that they're going to be really strong. I have Derwin James being the player for the Chargers, and the Cowboys player is probably going to be I want to have it CeeDee Lamb. He's very underrated.
How do you go a defensive player for the Chargers if the Cowboys defense sucks so bad?
Because Derwin James is going to carry that horrible defense of the Chargers.
Okay.
He might get like a
how is it 56-53 in a defensive player though?
Because he could get like a pick six.
Valid.
That's not what a defensive battle is.
Wait, no, I said offensive battle.
All right, Jake, go.
Voice crack. I don't think this game is going to be very entertaining, nor do I think it's going to be very high scoring. I have the Los Angeles Chargers winning this game 17-10. I don't have much to say about it. No, 17-10,
I thought you said 42-42.
Amari Cooper, player of the game for Dallas. Mike Williams, player of the game for the Chargers. All right.
What's the deal with the cup? I think we should have you go last, Jake, for this game. Yeah, let's have you go last. Okay. That way you can whine and complain about our opinions. Tennessee visiting the Seattle Seahawks. Tennessee's defense sucks. Not as their Seattle's defense sucks, but not as bad as the Titans. And yeah, so Seattle wins by 1 point, 27-28. Seattle wins.
Okay.
Derrick Henry's Tennessee player of the game, and for once DK Metcalf does something, and is the Seahawks player of the game. You'll catch your pass.
Sorry. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here we go, Jake. Don't get mad, but upset alert.
Oh, God.
Upset alert. I think that this might be Tennessee's game. I think they might pull an upset. Mainly because even though that defense sucks, I think that Tannehill, when he has really good games, he could have really good games, when he's not in Miami.
Tannehill's overrated.
He has Julio now. I mean, he can play really good when he has players, and he has the players. So he's gonna have these deep again, Julio, going all past the Seahawks guys, because Jamal Adams is gonna be blitzing, and then no one's gonna be out there, and then he's gonna be but it's gonna be very high scoring again. It's gonna be 48-42, and it's gonna be really close. But I just see this being Tennessee's game. Tennessee's gonna click. Tennessee might click. Their offense is so good, and then you're gonna have Derrick Henry running right through them. I mean, the Seahawks are a better team, but Tennessee is gonna upset them, in my opinion. I think they could upset. I forgot. Offensive player of the game being probably Julio Jones for the Titans, and then and then for player of the game for the Seahawks is probably going to be Russell Wilson.
Okay, I agree with Nick's statement. This is a very high scoring game. The one thing he's getting wrong is Julio Jones has never had a good game against the Seahawks ever. I don't think he's ever scored a touchdown against the Seahawks.
Yes, he has.
I really don't think he has. He got one catch in the first game for -2 yards. I think he sucked. The year before that, he got maybe 3 catches for 14 yards. He has never had a good game against Seattle. The one thing I'm saying, Seattle's winning this game in a shootout, 45-42. I think it's going to be a very intriguing game. The one thing I think that's going to help for Seattle this year is the fans. The fact that Seattle is going to have a fully loaded house, 100% capacity.
Oh, man.
All the fans are back. The 12th men are back and louder than ever. They're going to be excited to watch Seahawks football there. I think that
Excited to watch the
that's
9-10 win team.
I think that's going to be a very crucial role in this game. Sure, both our defense sucks. Our defense is better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think that I think Derrick Henry's gonna have a good game, but I don't think he's gonna have a Derrick Henry game. So yeah, 45-42 Seattle. Ryan Tannehill and Russell Wilson are your player of the games.
Okay, next game is Kansas City at Baltimore. Second to last game. Sunday Night Football.
Father son time.
It won't be as good of a game as people think. It'll be a good game, but Baltimore can never beat Kansas City. So Lamar Jackson just can't beat the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is the Chiefs player of the game. Mark Andrews is the Ravens player of the game. Chiefs take this one 27-20 on a good game, though, but not as close.
This game, I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss the Chiefs. I miss seeing the stable Chiefs. They're just so fun to watch. I miss the Chiefs. I'm gonna say, I felt so bad for them in that Super Bowl. I mean, they got whooped. Tom Brady spanked them so hard that he was like their dad. But so this game, I'm gonna see the Chiefs winning it though. It's probably gonna be probably 30 to 30-20 or something like that. It's gonna be similar to last year, but I think the Chiefs are gonna start clicking again. They're red hot. They're angry. They're hungry, if you will. But again, Patrick Mahomes is Lamar
Andy
Jackson's
Reid's hungry.
daddy. Andy Reid is McDonald's daddy. So this game, player of the game for the Chiefs is gonna be Mahomes probably. Player of the game for Ravens is gonna be Lamar. I mean, quarterback battle.
Like Nick said, the Ravens have never played well against Kansas City. The one thing I think they do have in their favor this game that is at home, it's at M&T Bank Stadium located in Baltimore, Maryland. This game's at night game, 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. I'll watch this game, I think, but I think that the Kansas City Chiefs, like Nick said, they're angry. They want revenge on everybody and everything, especially Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Jackson Mahomes.
Dancing on the sidelines.
Yes, sir. Doing the WAP on the sidelines. Kansas City is going to win 28-24. Player of the game, Tyreek Hill. Player of the game for the Ravens is J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, yeah, he's
and
good.
This next game should also not be even a question.
This is the game of the week right here. The Detroit Lions visiting the Green Bay Packers. Jared Goff with more Super Bowl appearances in the last 5 years than Aaron Rodgers. More NFC Championship wins in the last 5 years than Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
The Lions suck. But yeah, they'll lose 10-28. Without Aaron Rodgers, it'll be 17 or 20-10.
I think if the Packers
win.
don't have Rodgers, I think that the Lions could actually win.
TJ Hawkinson is the Lions player of the game because
my brother.
Same thing as the Texans. You just got to find a good player. And anyone. There's really no reason behind it. Your brother, same last name. Devontae Adams, spelled differently though. Devontae Adams, Packers player of the game, will torch who? Jeff Okudah, I guess. Desmond True fan. So that's that game. Crappy Monday night game, but I guess
Can't believe it's prime time.
Good for some.
I guess people really wanted to see beatdowns. But speaking of that, this game is going to be a beatdown. Yes, the Packers, they're a good team, and if they don't have Rodgers, they're a mediocre team. But either way, they're better than the Lions. Either way, they are better than the entire Lions team because they lost the one ray of hope they had on that team, Matthew Stafford. Well, I mean, other than T.J. Hawkinson or whatever, but the one ray of hope that stuck with them for the past 11 years, they lost him. And now they're going to go Jared Goff with a completely new team. They're not going to be good. I see this game being 7-35. I mean, even with Jordan Love. I mean, the defense, it's non-existent. I mean, he's going to be throwing passes like it's at training camp. I mean, because the Green Bay defense, in my opinion, isn't that good. But yeah. And then Green Bay's player of the game is probably going to be Adams. He's going to torch anyone. Like he's going to torch the field because there's going to be no one on the field on defense. Lions player of the game is going to be probably like Frank Ragnow because I don't like the Green Bay's pass rush. I don't think it's that good.
Not Sewell.
I don't know.
Too early.
I mean, I think
They
I
have
did
good edge
Sewell
rush.
last time, and I
You don't
also
like Green
think
Bay's pass
Ragnow is underrated.
You don't like Green Bay's pass rush though?
No,
I
they got a
don't
horrible
either.
run defense.
All right, this
Kenny
game.
Clark, Zadarius Smith, and
I don't know, like as a group, as a core, I'm saying.
This game, I don't think is even a
People.
question. Like Nick said, an absolute beatdown. I have the Packers winning this game 28-3. I don't need to go in detail. The Lions suck. The Packers are good.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell, player of the game for your Detroit Lions, and Aaron Jones is your player of the game for the Packers.
Well, that concludes our week 2 predictions. Week 3.
That's it?
Here, I'll go through the games. Let's make sure we did them all, I guess.
Yeah, we've got
Okay,
everyone.
Giants, Washington,
Wow.
Bengals, Bears, Texans, Browns, Rams, Colts, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, 49ers, Eagles, Raiders, Steelers, Saints, Panthers, Broncos, Jaguars, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Chargers, Titans, Seahawks, Chiefs, Ravens, and Lions, Packers. I'm pretty sure we got it.
Nice.
We got
You
all
know,
of them.
it's so hot
Yeah.
right now, though.
So,
Not gonna lie.
so we have some good games for next week. We got Colts, Titans, and Chiefs, Chargers. Those would be good divisional battles.
Yo, don't spoil it though. People still don't know.
We're not spoiling our predictions. We're just
Just kidding. I'm joking.
and
People don't know the game.
Bucks, Rams. That'll be a fun one. Bucks, Rams.
Facts.
Why is that
My
not-
guy.
Well, so that does it for week 2 predictions.
Thank you for watching.
or listening or whatever.
Thank
you for seeing me twist for the first time
And,
on this podcast. Not the last though.
Yeah. Wait, what? I don't know.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.